explicitly say it, but he talked about a lot of red flags just then. I think we've made it to a point in our society where we can all agree that like we all have our own red flags, right? We all have our own red flags. But I think we can also agree that there are certain groups that have more red flags than others. Like matadors. Alright. Your next comedian. This guy doesn't love too much. Your next comedian was the Richmond Funny Bones Clash of Comics winner. And he's making a return back to Bozeman. Make it nice and loud for Kale Moore! Last best, how we feeling? So like John said, I moved away for a while. I've been away in Richmond for about 2 years now, but I did start comedy here in Montana, and it's awesome to be back. Like, I miss it. One of my favorite things about like Midwest states is I feel like they all have a hierarchy where every state has another state that they look down upon. Like, I grew up in Nebraska. I moved from Nebraska to Montana, and they were like, yeah, Nebraska's just a bunch of fucking rednecks. I moved from Montana to Colorado, and they were like, yeah, Montana's just a bunch of fucking rednecks. And then I moved from Colorado to southern New Mexico, and they were like, nope, this is the bottom. I'll put it to you guys this way. Southern New Mexico is a lot like, has everyone in here seen Breaking Bad? So, Southern New Mexico is a lot like Breaking Bad if you took out all of the chemistry teachers. Yeah, I've gotten really like sick and tired. Like, all of my Virginia friends, when I moved there, they looked at me like I was a fucking sod farmer. They're like, Kale, what'd you get up to this week? Oh, I salted a side of beef. Should keep us fed through the winter. Of course, we lost Mary to typhoid. Then for the weekend, I mainly pushed a hoop around with a stick. But, so I've decided that now, if someone ever comes up to me and they're like, hey, what was it like living in Montana? Did you have like horse-drawn carriages and stuff like that? I've decided I'm just going to start making shit up. Be like, fun fact, Montana's the last state in the union where they still send dick pics by mail. It's a cowboy like, my dearest Agatha. I've throbbed for you these many months. I've been hard as a boulder in a Montana blizzard. I've been long and pointed as the antlers of an elk. Enclosed as an artist's rendering. Then you gotta get a buddy to sketch you while you stand like this. When you're done, you slap that baby on the Pony Express. By the time it gets there, she's died of tuberculosis. I moved out to Virginia, and the first thing I needed to do was get a new car. So I decided I was going to try one of those Carvana vending machines. Have you guys seen those? It's a giant glass tower full of cars. The concept is pretty simple. You walk up, you put your money in, you get a car. Fucking thing ate my quarters. I had to buy the Kia Soul above it to knock it down. Got stuck on the big spring thing. So if anyone's interested in a slightly damaged Kia Soul, hit me up after the show. Now, this part is true. When I got my car, it had a recall on it, so I immediately had to put it in the shop. And the shop had one loaner car available. It was a sky blue Mitsubishi Lancer. So they gave me the keys, I opened the door, and Limp Bizkit CDs just came pouring out. This car is such a douchebag, it should have ear studs on the mirrors. It's not cheap either, because it doesn't take regular gas, it only takes Bud Light Platinum. So, my biggest issue with living in Virginia so far is they just proposed this new law. And the law says that you have to enter your driver's license information in order to watch pornography. Hasn't passed yet, but a lot of porn sites are going dark in Virginia in protest. I found this out the hard way one night, in a manner of speaking. So I've had to kind of go underground. Luckily, OnlyFans still works. Any OnlyFans subscribers in here? A lot of liars. Statistically improbable. I mean, I get it. I felt ashamed the first time I subscribed to OnlyFans. I put my credit card info in, and literally, 3 minutes later, my bank calls me. And they're like, do you recognize this transaction from OnlyFans.com? And I was like, absolutely not. I don't know what kind of pervert is using my credit card to buy pornography, but rest assured, I will get to the bottom of it. And then I put in my credit card info again 5 minutes later. Yeah, OnlyFans, there's free porn out there, but I get OnlyFans because when you pay for porn, it really makes you feel like you are earning it. It's like I slave 8 hours a day to put this porn on the table for my family. I've also had 3 different people I know. 3 different people come up to me and say, hey, if I made an OnlyFans, would you subscribe to it? I'm like, thanks. Thanks for letting me know I'm your target demographic. So, my favorite real underground porn sites are the 2 that aren't following the law right now. RedTube and LobsterTube. Those are real sites. Google it. Not right now. Later, when you get home, Google it. RedTube and LobsterTube, those are real sites. But sometimes, when I'm in the mood, I get a little too excited, and I accidentally Google Red Lobster. And then suddenly my screen is just filled with Cheddar Bay biscuits. And I usually finish anyway. Because those are some good biscuits. I've been getting into VR porn too. VR porn's great. The only problem is they change positions on you every 30 seconds. It's like stand up, lay down, sit up, stand up, sit down, lay back, stand up. It's like, what is this, fucking CrossFit? And then also you of course have the non-porn sources that you can rely on. You guys want to know what I think the horniest piece of media that is not actually porn is? It's those old black and white, hard-boiled detective movies, right? Because it happens the same way every time. A woman walks into this guy's office, and he is so horned up by her, he spends 2 hours getting shot at by gangsters. I'm going to write a gay neo-noir hard-boiled detective movie. It's going to be like, she came into the office just after closing time. Her legs went all the way up. She had long blonde hair, ruby red lips, and I was like, gross. Credits. All right, that's my time. I've been Caleb Moore. Thank you, guys. Give it over for Caleb Moore.